All right, Buff Nation, we're live. What's going on, y'all? And you might have seen this earlier this week, but I wanted to get on a video and talk about what a breakout year might look like for Micah Welch, or excuse me, or Dallan Hayden. They were named to the Doak Walker Award watch list, rather, given to the nation's best running back. And I thought this was interesting. I think we saw a little over 100 names in college football added to this list. And I think it is a positive sign that the worst rushing team in college football has two guys on this list. I, I think that's a good omen that we're gonna see some improvement in the run game, and might I say, like a breakout. What would a breakout uh, be defined as for running back at CU? Is it somebody going over 1,000 yards? I think that there's the possibility of that happening. And so we're going to get into this a little bit. Of course, let me know your thoughts on, hey, who your favorite running back is right now in the room. Be sure to like, subscribe as always. But yeah, the fact is we were the worst rushing team in the league last year in all of college football. And we got two guys named to this list. I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, you might be wondering, when was the last time the Colorado Buffalo won the Doak Walker Award? And that was, of course, 1994 Heisman winner Rashaan Salaam, number 19, 2,000-yard back in 1994. Yeah, he was insane. And oh man, where are the totals right here? 2,055 yards, 24 touchdowns on the season, while averaging a remarkable 7.61 yards a carry. Buffs went 10-1, finished number 4 overall in the country. Insane, man. And last year, of course, Ashton Genty won this. Yeah, given to the nation's best running back. You might say, okay, well, in order for Micah Welch or Dallan Hayden to win this award, which I don't think is very likely at all, but I do think, again, this is a good sign to see that these guys are named to this watch list. They're going to have to creep up into like one of the better single season rushing performances of all time. Now, if they're going to get into the top 10, what we see like right over here, yeah, that means you're going for at least 1,211 yards. And I think right now, if we're looking at maybe 5 yards a carry, we're talking about creeping up somewhere between like what 250 and 300 rushing attempts for just one running back. I'm not necessarily sure that's going to happen. But, could we see a 1,000-yard season from Micah Welch or Dallan Hayden? I think that's totally reasonable. We're talking about 12 regular season games and then the bowl game, but let's just talk 12 regular season games right now. We're looking at what? 83 rushing yards a game. And with this offense incorporating more of that speed option, I think that's going to open up some big running lanes for both Micah Welch and Dallan Hayden. Oh man, still got my earbud in. Need to take that out. But want to take a look here at some of their statistics this past year. Of course, we saw Micah Welch, I thought, was pretty efficient given what we saw with the offensive line and just, again, not rushing it much at all. But we did see him garner a nice little 4.3 yards a carry. I think my expectation for his development this year is that we could see him, kind of get around that 5 yards of rush. I think that would be really, really good. So we're talking about maybe 4 times the amount of workload this next year. I think that would be great. Getting around 200 carries. If you're getting around 200 carries at 5 yards a clip, hey, that's 1,000 yards right there. And I would definitely count that as a breakout. Now, for Dallan Hayden, again, I think he's been one of the biggest winners right now on the offensive side of the ball with what we've seen in fall camp. I think he's just running really, really hard. I love what we've seen from him. And of course, I think it's mainly been with him and Micah Welch being rotated in with the ones. Of course, we've seen Track Hawk and Simeon Price get their work as well. I'm not saying that those guys aren't going to get carries either, but I do think that Dallan Hayden, I think that we can see a lot better of a year from him in just terms of efficiency, fully healthy, working with Coach Swayze, working with Marshall Falk. Again, this offense is going to be more run heavy than what we've seen in years past. And yeah, I think that there were some nice glimpses of what we saw. Now, again, against North Dakota State, averaging 2.2 yards per attempt, man, it was rough, but that wasn't totally on him. You guys saw how we struggled in short yardage. We did see him have success breaking off a big run against Nebraska. I'm trying to think like how long that was. Oh yeah, 17 yards. Was that 6.4 yards a clip? But I think that I think it is reasonable. I think we're gonna throw the ball less this year. We're gonna run the ball more. And not only run the ball more, just like handing it off, we're gonna have option plays. So it's gonna be Caden Salter's opportunity to gain some rushing yards or pitch that out to one of those backs to the side of him. I think that again, I think we could see a back at CU get 200 carries this year, which I think would be a really, really big win. Let me go ahead and just do the math right here. I mean, what would that come out to a game? We're talking about a running back getting about 16 carries a game. And while that might have seemed absolutely insane the last couple years, I think that that's totally reasonable. I think we're going to see, in my opinion, maybe this is a little bit of a hot take. I don't know. Y'all let me know if this is a hot take, but I think we'll collectively see our team like having over 40 rushing attempts like per game. I think that's what we're going to see. Now, not all of those will be by design. I think some of that will be Kane Salter scrambling from the pocket and whatnot. But especially when we get into the red zone, a lot of the zone read option plays, they're going to be called there. Yeah, like, and it's not like we didn't reach over 40 carries a game or 40 carries in certain games last year with Shador at quarterback. So this is something that I think is something to pay attention to. Again, we're the worst rushing team in college football last year, and we had two guys. Now, again, guys, there are 103 running backs, I think it was, named on this list. But the fact that we got two of them, I think that is noteworthy. And I think that's a good omen for both Dallan Hayden and Micah Welch. Again, I'm not saying that these guys are going to go out and win this award. I guess there's always a shot, if one of them just totally breaks out and goes for like 2,000 yards, it's going to go to the best running back in the country. Likely that's not going to be here at CU. But I do think that this is a good omen for them breaking out, being incredibly productive. Could we have a running back over 800 rushing yards this year? I think so. Could we have a running back get over 1,000 yards this year? I think that can happen. Again, you're needing about 16 carries a game. We go to a bowl too. I think it's a given. I think it's a given that happens. So this is going to be a little bit shorter of a stream. Finally, supposed to get on here with Chico and Bird. I know we've had to continue to push it out, but I think that's going to be later this afternoon. But yeah, buddy, Sco Buffs, man, are you excited to watch Shador and Jimmy go tonight? I think it's going to be a lot of fun, man. So 16 carries a game for Micah Welch or Dallan Hayden. I think that equals the Buffs getting their first 1,000-yard rusher since maybe, want to say 2020 with Jarek Broussard, who was the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year in 2020, if I remember correctly. Let's see what he ran for. I thought that he ran for over 1,000 yards. Let's see what we got here. Dude, they don't even got his stats here on Wikipedia. Dude. What the heck? How's football? How's Football Reference not have his stats anywhere? All right, I give up, guys. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Go Buffs.